There was one thing that I absolutely wanted to do when I got my VR headset, and that is playing a flight sim. Just the idea of being inside a cockpit and having the ability to look around seemed very cool to me. So the first thing I did was look up some games that looked somewhat accessible and read some reviews. So there was one that stood out to me, and that is VTOL VR. The reviews are overwhelmingly positive on Steam, and the videos that I watched about it look very cool. Still, the game managed to surprise me a lot. Judging from the simple art style of the graphics, I expected something, arcadey. What I got instead was a very in-depth flight sim that worked extremely well in VR. I always thought that flight sims had a high barrier of entry, as you would not only have to learn to fly a plane, but also you had to buy additional equipment, such as a flight stick. This game, however, changes all of that. It does have a steep learning curve and there are loads of instruments, but you can actually control your entire cockpit with your virtual hands in-game. In this video, let's take a look at how the cockpit works and let's fly some planes. There are 4 types of aircraft in the game. There's the F-45A, which is similar to its real-world counterpart, the F-35 Stealth Fighter or Joint Strike Fighter. And there's an attack helicopter DLC, but I didn't buy it yet. There's a transport aircraft that can vertically take off. And there's the FA-26B, which is similar to the real-world F-18. All of the aircraft are very different. The F-45 can use stealth capabilities, has advanced electronics with touchscreens and can vertically take off and land. In contrast, the FA-26 has old-school monitors with buttons next to them, and you have to externally install target acquisition sensors in your equipment slot, rather than having it built in, like the F-45. You can play both during the day as well as the night. Despite the simple art style, the atmosphere of the game is very well done with the sound and the lighting. You do truly feel like a lone pilot in the sky when flying at night.
5000, trekking west, group bullseye 064, 12, 20,000, hold.
So let's check out the cockpit. You load into the game and you start, in this case, on the aircraft carrier. Everything is still turned off, but luckily you have your hands right here. As you can see, there are loads of instruments, despite it having a simplified design. There are the brakes, the switch for arming your weapons. So first of all, we turn on the main battery in order to power the aircraft. Next up is the APU, and we have to charge it before we start the engine. Here you turn the visual information on, including the monitors, which you can tweak to your preferred setup. There are loads of different systems that you can use for the weaponry, and also stuff like the radar, for example. So let's close the canopy. The first mission is to take out some rocket artillery units down on the mainland. Alright, let's go. Time to pull on the landing gear. The fact that you can look around in this game is so cool. Because you can see depth, your brain really thinks you are inside a cockpit.
Complete them at your discretion, but make your priority to limit threats to the carrier
The
group.
targets are not too far away, so let's arm our weapons. This SOI button, meaning sensor of interest, designates the screen to be controlled by the little joystick on top of the flight stick. This way you can accurately target enemies.
This is command. Our estimate for the location of the enemy rocket artillery has been uploaded to GPS group mission 3. Check that area for targets.
Holding down that little joystick connects the target acquisition system to your visor, so you can use your head to target enemies and relay this information back to your screen. You can zoom and further fine-tune your target settings on the screen. A second target appeared. Targets destroyed.
Break, missile.
There are different targeting systems, from GPS based to radar based to heat seeking. All of the systems work very differently and also for different targets. You have anti-radar missiles for faraway radar stations, and if you want to hit targets on the ground, you can use laser guided or GPS bombs. Let's take a look at the radar-based long-range anti-air missiles to take out some planes further away. Here you have to select the SOI button again in order to be able to control the cursor with your right-hand joystick. You can manually select enemy aircraft that are outside your view on the left screen. These missiles have a very long range and are highly accurate.
India 1-1, enemy command and control targets confirmed. Destroy bunkers marked on GPS group Mission 2.
The next example I want to show are the heat seeker missiles in your arsenal. Flying at night works quite differently. You have a lot less visibility than during the day, even with the night vision. In this game you can do a lot with only your instruments. For example, landing a plane is quite hard, and especially when going for a carrier landing, you have to rely on your instruments both during day as well as night. Anyway, let's fly up to the enemy planes. The heat seekers have little range compared to the radar-based missiles, but can be quite effective however. So now you have a basic understanding of the game. There are other really cool weapons too, and if you happen to have a VR headset, I highly recommend checking out this game. It's something I've always wanted to try, and I think simulators like this work very well in VR in general. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.